What's up, people? We are live. Hey, Naima, what's up, RG?
What's good, people?
What's up? What's up? What's going on?
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to everybody.
Yeah, no doubt.
Y'all having a good week so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah, life is great. Can't complain.
Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Well, we have a show for you guys for today, and it's called Good Enough to Fuck, but Not Good Enough to Marry. And we thought it would be a good conversation to examine on both ends. You have a lot of guys who are saying that, women are sexy, they're attractive, but I couldn't see myself settling down with her for the long run. You'll have women say, well, he looks good, he's sexy, he's attractive, or whatever, but probably not somebody I want to settle down with. And we wanted to explore this topic for today. My first question, well, what do you guys think about the topic so far?
Well, I think it's good for you to understand and be upfront with the other person when you realize they're good enough to, and but not good enough to marry or even get into a long term relationship with, for that matter. It's good to know those things and be upfront about that so that you don't run into not run into, so you don't turn this woman into a crazy woman. Because that, from my experience, that's what tends to happen. So as long as she knows, then you got all license to just roll out. But don't be lying to these bros, though.
Yeah, and I think this is a good topic because a lot of, people is wondering like, okay, I can, get a piece of a penis, right? But I can't get the ring. So what's going on? Why can't I get the ring? And a lot of men are not offering the ring, right? So they want to give a ring. So we got to explore these things of why we're not connecting in that way. What's going on in this society today that's preventing, um, what's adding to the whole culture in a sense, right? All the sex going on, but not a lot of weddings to go to. So yeah, let's explore it.
I know it's one major deterrent for men is a bunch of extra crumb snatchers. Like if you got a couple extra kids around, it's going to be you pretty much going to be looked at as a potential jump off, and you're gonna have to have some strong game if you're gonna keep this man around, especially if he's a man of any type of value.
Well, I agree. It is a little harder when you have children. I wouldn't say that you have no chance, but your chances are definitely smaller. Once you add little rascals to the to the picture. I have two girl rascals, my precious little pumpkins. But go ahead. What you think, Danny?
She might have dropped down, but yeah,
Oh,
another thing, a
Child, I
major
hit the
factor. Go.
doggone what you call it button. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Cuz
she
I was
got you.
asking you guys like your top 5 things that would make a person dateable but unmarriageable.
Well, a lot of these new, not so much new, but these independent women, they don't want a man, and they tend to end up with a couple illegitimate kids throughout their career, and then when they get to be about 40 years old and they hit the wall, they want to get married to this high value man, and he just ain't checking for 'em. That's, but I ain't saying it's impossible, but it's a matter of your priorities.
Okay, Naima, what about you?
you said what's my what? My top
Your
five
top 5 reasons that would make a man dateable but unmarriageable.
dateable. So yeah, so we have to define the dateable thing. Dateable meaning just going out to dinner and hanging out.
Yes. Yes, like you could date him, but you couldn't see yourself going the distance with him.
I mean, like a dateable kind of guy, if he's fun, right? If he's fun, he's not willing to settle down. Yeah, I don't look. You can date him, right?
Right.
And I'm saying dateable meaning no sex. So
Right. Well,
yeah, yeah. So
it depends. Because you could have sex with a guy and not consider him marriage material.
okay, see, that's what I mean. Like, okay, we need to define that, right? Because dating could just be, like I said, hanging out. You hanging out or going to dinner, going to a movie, and stuff like that, which doesn't include sex or it can include sex. So it really depends
Yeah,
on what we're
people
talking about here.
people in Philly, we don't call dating. I ran into this issue outside of Philly, everywhere else really. People in Philly, if we are only going out and just getting to know each other, that's dating. But as soon as we have sex or we have any kind of commitment, then that would be a relationship. But a lot of people define it as, dating is the relationship also. They call that dating. So, if you're having sex, you're in a relationship, they still call that dating if you're not married. So what are we gonna settle on before we move forward?
I would rather go with the situations where sex is included because a lot of men, and that's the topic, good enough to fuck, but not good enough to marry. And you have a lot of men who will say, okay, a woman is good, she's pretty, she's fun to be around, but I just can't see myself in a long-term relationship with her. And I'm trying to get down to the bottom of, and even with women, he's attractive, he's da da da, but I couldn't see myself settling down with him. He's good for a good time, but he's not good for a long time
I found the
or to
main
keep.
reason why women would think of me in that way, if I well, normally I'm really upfront with women when I'm not looking for a relationship. So we don't really have a discrepancy as to what my intentions are. But most women, they don't think you're good enough to marry if they but they think you're good enough to fuck if you have a reputation for just being out here slaying these hoes. So if her girlfriend told they might be passing you around. Women pass guys around. I know for some reason, because I've had a number of women who were friends,
So
and
you
they,
was a pass around?
well, you can call it what you want, but I was doing what I wanted to do too. So that's why I don't look at women as pass around
Men
because
love being a pass around, so let's not confuse that.
right, but women love it too. Who are any woman who's been passed around, she wanted to be passed around. That's not something you do because you don't want to do it. So I don't look at women as though they're getting used in any kind of way when they smashing the homies. I mean, that's just what they into. So a woman is going to look at you as an opportunity to have a good time, like you said, if your reputation precedes you, and she's not going to think that she wants to marry you. So that's usually the guy who gets the one night stand with the baddie because she got her mind made up too.
Yeah, so I guess the good enough to F, but not good enough to marry. I guess from a woman's perspective, I guess um, if basically if you're just if the guy, the guy may be like a player or playboy or something like that, and I guess when the woman feels though like she want parts of that man, but she know that that man is for the streets, as they would say, but she still wants parts of that guy sexually, she would perceive him to be good enough to F, right, but not to marry.
Um, Naima, I think you may have an echo in the back. Yeah, I can understand that to a certain degree, but I also know women who will try to tame the wild dude and let other guys fall by the wayside because the wild dude, quote unquote, checks a lot of the boxes.
What box? The box?
Okay. He could definitely check that box, but he may look good. He may have his finances in order. He may dress nice. He knows how to get a good haircut. He's laid back. He's chill. He's fun. But those guys generally tend to have most of the hoes, or excuse me, most of the women. It's a lot of women chasing behind the same man. And if a man is like the type that, he has everything together, a lot of women are chasing the same man. So a lot of women will try to tame the lion. They want to tame the beast. They want to be the one to tame the beast.
That's true. And that's really the worst kind of woman because she'll get into a relationship with you. Well, not she'll get into a casual sex relationship with you 9 times out of 10. She'll say, "Okay, we have this agreement. You know how you have the talk. All right, I don't want to get into any long term. This is, you might not even have the talk, but you just things take place and we're not girlfriend, boyfriend, or in any type of established relationship. But then this woman will start catching feelings after you hit like 3 times, and she'll all of a sudden a couple weeks later she's in love with you and you didn't know it, and now you got the whole problem on your hands because she's going to start acting a certain way, and it's really difficult to continue any type of relationship after
But
that.
you know what, RG? The only thing that you told me that would make a woman unmarriageable is her having a bunch of kids and her being an independent woman, right?
Not necessarily the only thing, but those are two major factors that make, at face value, make a guy just not even think about having a relationship with a woman. I mean, if you have a couple kids, I would have to really just really start liking you, like, which is probably not going to happen because I'm not trying to hang out with you and your kids, to be honest. So we probably just not going to get to that phase. That's why the baby mamas they usually with the jump off because they already know they don't have a lot of time to do a lot of extra stuff, and they always need a babysitter. And most of the time, if you tell her to come through, she just going to be with the shit.
But you know what? This be my thing when it comes to the conversation too, because um, the guys in this space would say, "Oh, you're not married yet. Why didn't you? Why you're you hit the wall and all these different things. So why aren't you married? Why aren't you married?" They're posing this question to the women, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these different things. But my question is, did they ask the girlfriend at 18 to marry her? Did they do that, right? Because my best friend, her son did, right? He made up his mind, he was into the church, and he didn't want to have the sex before marriage. That was his own decision and not his mother's, right? So my thing
Mm-hmm.
is when they keep coming with this pushback of women being married, oh, why aren't you married? Why aren't you married? But I'm asking the men, did you ask your girlfriend at 18, at 25, at 27, at 30? Men have to ask for a woman's hand in marriage, right? You're acting like you're asking women and we're saying no. You are not asking the women for their hand in marriage at these young ages, and that's the thing that I don't get, and I want to know why. Like, why aren't you asking your sweetheart girlfriend at these young ages to marry her? Why aren't you proposing? Right?
So if okay, I would think that at a certain age, if a guy is 18 and the chick is, let's say the guy is 21 and the chick is 18, most 21-year-olds don't have finances all the way in line. Most 21-year-old men, if they're dating somebody a little bit younger, they don't have their finances in line. They don't know themselves. They don't know exactly what to look for. They're out having fun. They're dealing with different chicks, whatever. They may not feel like they're going to be a good spouse at an early age.
I
Well,
think. Go ahead.
but that's the thing, right? Because both parties are young, right? So that's when you at your building stage, right? Then you
Right.
right. So to me, at that point, we 18, 21, 25, 27, we already know everybody's broke, right? So it's okay to build at that point. So I think that yeah, we have to look at that differently. Because look, go listen. You don't need a ring. Go get a bubblegum ring or something. If you're in a relationship, why can't you propose? I'm sure she's going to say yes. She loves you. So why aren't we doing these different things, right?
You know what? I don't think the main reason is finances. To be honest, I think you're in, most times somebody at that age they did not plan to have a pregnancy, although they're doing things that obviously lead to pregnancy. But the woman has made a decision to carry the child to term or to terminate the pregnancy. So if there are two people who were not prepared but were participating in, being uncareful and unprotected sex, they end up having a child. Well, maybe neither one. Most of the time, neither one of them wanted to get married because
Mm.
they weren't actually having sex with the person that they intended to get married to. So the shotgun weddings and everything, that's cool. It's a good concept, but that's not something. That's a thing of the past. Apparently, today it just doesn't seem like that's something that happens. So why would anybody marry somebody just because they had a child together? I mean, it makes sense to us, but nowadays that doesn't seem like anybody's thinking about doing that.
Okay. I so I did list off some reasons that uh I think that men wouldn't want to get married. Naima, you said that your reasons would be for women not wanting to get married would be um that they didn't ask when they were younger. Like, I want to explore that a little bit more.
I mean, I was just trying to bring up that point because I know there's been a talking point in this space of women. You know, why aren't you married, or why haven't you been married, and all of these different things, as if men or young boys were asking women for their hand in marriage and we were turning them down. That's just not true. So
Okay.
I just wanted to put that statement out there because that's not happening. Um, but if we were to, in a sense, kind of fast forward, because we're talking about the 304s, right?
Mhm.
And and I think that in this culture that we live in, the 304s um, will, they will want to F, but they don't want to marry because for them at this stage, they may feel as though that, okay, there's nothing else going on for me, so let me live my best 304 life.
Mm.
Yeah, whole
Yeah,
life.
but don't nobody want a woman with all that baggage. She got several kids and several baby daddies, and she done hit the wall. And nobody wants that. So that's a major reason right there. The wall. Don't nobody want you after you done hit the wall and you done ran down on I don't know how many in your past. You got all these kids. I mean, just to be honest, a person who does not have any kids and does not have all that baggage is most likely not going to be interested in that, like at all.
You don't think the woman, you saying the man without all the baggage isn't going to be interested in a woman who has baggage, right?
If you have several kids and several baby daddies and you done hit the wall, you're 40 something years old, it's going to be really difficult to find your Prince Charming. The guy that has no baby mamas and he's wealthy and career driven and well established. I mean, that guy is not looking for the woman who's already hit the wall, especially
So
with those
you
kids.
think attractiveness is one of the bigger issues?
I would say those kids.
Uh-oh, did he go out?
Yeah, I think he went out.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
All right, yeah, I got a phone call. Yeah, I think those kids would make any guy when they meet you as soon as you say you have kids, he's not going to be interested. It's
Yeah,
going to take a miracle.
and I think at this time and age, everything is instant. Even sex, right? And when we're talking about the hoes, we know that men with money have always kind of went after after the 304s anyway, because they were like brothels, they were like red light districts, and now we have the internet. So the internet brought on this whole new dimension of how men are going to trick off, right? Or how women are going to, to hoe, in a sense. So I think that now we're dealing with the whole. culture that's completely different from what it was before. It's still the same, just different in how the operation ceased to exist, right?
So, would you guys agree that sexual market value would be one of the main reasons that we don't? Well, I don't even think sexual market value is a reason that we don't get married. I think that we're attracted to each other, but we're only attracted to each other up until a certain point. If a guy is stingy or he's mean spirited or he doesn't have not a lot of knowledge, or you haven't been able to figure out what he's smart at, is the guy able to teach you anything? Are you a woman that likes to be led, or do you like to lead the relationship? And a guy could be controlling or whatever. I think those are a lot of things that prevent women from wanting to be married.
Yeah, I would agree with that because a real man is going to have his program already running before he meets you. And if you fit into that program, then you're going to be a more viable option than any other woman. Despite her looks, she might look better than you. But if you complement his lifestyle and his life goals and just his life in general, you're going to have a better chance of making that man more interested in you than any other woman for that reason. But as far as the sexual market value, I mean, obviously, guys and women they go above and beyond for somebody who they're sexually attracted to. But how long does that actually last?
Mm.
Yeah, because we talk about sexual market value, and at the end of the day, sexual market value is just basically, listen, what men find desirable or find sexy, or men who want to f in a sense, right? Because men love hoes, and then men love hoes because one, they can play out their deepest and darkest sexual fantasies, right? They want that good old sexual experience.
Yeah,
So
TSI, shout out to her. She says sexual attraction covers a multitude of sins. And I was talking to a couple of people today that actually really, really agree with that. Saying that a woman she could know how to cook, like five grandmas was buried inside of her. She could cook like that. She clean like she works for a cleaning service. She could be fun to be around, but if she isn't sexy, is if she doesn't have something going on inside of the bedroom, that will actually discourage a man from actually going the distance. What do you guys think about that?
If she's not able to have sex,
No, she could be able to have sex, but you just don't have your best sex with her.
hmm. Well, yeah, I mean that's going to definitely have an adverse effect on whether or not I'm going to decide to be with you. I mean, that is important. So anybody that tells you that sex is not important, they're just lying. Now, if you're already together and you're married to somebody, then obviously it's going to still be a major hit. But I think you'd probably be more likely to try to ride it out with her. But just some chick that you're dealing with, and y'all just been messing around. No, we're not going to make that next step at all.
Do you
but
guys
you
think?
know what, Danny? You brought a good point, because the most common reason why men said they bought sex, from the hoes, was to satisfy an immediate sexual urge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, we're going to go over the article that we want to present, because basically it's just men already subscribe to porn, right? That's a $1 billion industry. We know that $180 billion is spent each year on the global sex trade. So we need to get into that too, because there's money being made between the clients and the clientels and the workers. So there's something going on, and that's when
So
the comes to play.
let me ask you this question. Do you think that men are more attracted to hoes than they are to regular average everyday women?
I think
Yeah.
early on after meeting, a man is going to definitely, and women, I mean, people are generally attracted to people and want to be around them if they have a sexual attraction to that person. And especially if they have had sex. I mean, the sex will keep you around for sex. It will definitely, if it's good, you'll stick around for that. But the sex is not going to determine if you are going to actually be with somebody most of the times. And when it does, it's usually a bad situation and the outcome.
Shout out to TSI. She said something else. They're attracted to freedom. I do think that men are attracted to free women. I think that wholeheartedly. I think free women generally get the top choices of men. And they get more attention, which means they have a bigger pool to pull from. So I actually agree with that. I think they're absolutely attracted to freedom. Um,
To
there
me,
was, Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, to me, it really doesn't make a difference. All women to me really act the same. I don't really know the difference in a hoe, in my own experience, a hoe and somebody who's, wifey material. I guess we'd say, use an old term, because all women literally do the same thing when I
You
meet
are
them.
so full of shit. You know
All
why I say that?
it seemed to me like all women do the same thing with me. I can't really speak for
You'll say
everybody
that
else.
all women do the same thing with you, but you did say something about a woman racking up a lot of bodies. And so,
Right. But
when a woman racks up a lot of bodies, that does put a certain perception on her, right?
yeah, if I know about it, I mean, if she been getting around in the same circles I've been getting around in, because I know some women that they'll smash everybody in the neighborhood. But somebody like that, we're all aware of it. But I'm just saying, most women have a high body count. If they haven't been married before 30, I mean, you usually have a pretty high body count.
Nah, bro,
If
I
you
gotta
don't,
push back on that. Nah, bro. Don't.
I'm not saying everybody. I'm
Okay,
saying,
as I say, don't
yeah,
give us. Nah,
I
nah,
never
don't give us
say,
good courage. Okay.
yeah, I never say everybody, but any person, any woman or man, because women and men are not as different as people try to say. Because if that were the case, there would be no such thing as the one night stand, and everybody knows somebody who's had a one night stand, a woman or a man, and this is just commonplace. So obviously, these women are doing this throughout their life, and if they haven't had many long term relationships and they haven't been married by 30, usually they up there around, at least 30, 40 sexual partners by that time. That's just human nature. So, unless she's celibate, which most women I meet aren't, I can't really understand how anybody could think otherwise, because women have casual sex just as much as men. So I don't really get why we always try to make such a differentiation between the sex drive of an adult man and an adult woman. It's pretty much the same.
I think that it has a lot to do with a man being able to conquer that woman to a certain degree. Because I think men are actually afraid. Like if a woman has been with that many men, you don't know what type of mentality she has or if that plays a lot into it. Men tend to be really scared of women, or I'm not even gonna say really scared, but I think it comes down to, okay, if she's had sex with 30 to 40 men, what would make her settle down with me? What would make that special if she's been giving it out to everybody? And a lot of men don't even care about the treatment or anything, but it goes along the lines of, well, if she did this with him and him and him and him and him and goddamn, they walk into a bar and she knows the DJ, the bartender, the guy at the door, security. She knows the promoter. She knows everybody. She's in that life. A lot of men are, I don't know if there's necessarily intimidation, but a lot of men aren't into that. They don't want to be the guy that's with the chick that everybody has had a turn with. I think it's more so ego.
Yeah, I mean, most guys, if they don't have to think about it, like I said, if it's a woman that's operating in close quarters and it's just a lot of guys everywhere you go, and it's like, a lot of people where you're both from have had sex with with this woman, yeah, it's going to be on your mind. But I mean, any man who's thinking about that and he doesn't have really anything to go on, he's not getting this kind of feedback from everybody that this is a 304 that you're dealing with. Everything gonna be all good. But I'm just saying, in all actuality, you should be able to presume that anyone who's sexually active from the time they were in high school up until they're in their 30s, if they haven't been married or haven't had many long-term relationships, I mean, it's pretty easy to think that they've had at least 30, 40 sexual partners by that time. But I don't care about it either way because I just really think that's just human nature, and I think is actually pretty normal.
Mm.
But you know what? I want to talk about this article because ABC News did an article on why men buy prostitute hoes, whatever you want to call them, and it says men pay for women because he can have whatever and whoever he wants, right? Lots of men they go to prostitutes so they can do the things to them that real women would not put up with. And that goes to what you were saying, Danny. Like basically, are you do you are you getting with them because you're not satisfied at home in a sense? So and that article does mention that men do go there because for various reasons, but that is definitely one of the reasons for sure.
Oh, Lord. A shout out to Platinum Elite. He says, let me hit. Black women are easy and about that life. I'ma slaw her out. Platinum, platinum, platinum. Okay. So let's
Coleslaw?
get in. Huh?
That's real quick. That's interesting. That I mean, I know we talk about what we know most, I guess, but I don't think there's really any difference in black women and white women. I mean, I've seen too much. So it's these white women on these college campuses and I mean they really have a good time. I'll just put it that way. And some things never change. So the white women and the black women, they they kind of do the same thing in that regard. I just think it's human nature.
Oh, wow. Shout out to MGTOW Universe. He says, in the City Girl society, I assume all women are 304s until they show me otherwise. If they hide it well, and most don't, then it is what it is. That's a very, very interesting point. Okay. You said in MGTOW Universe, I would love for you to come up to the panel when we drop the link to talk about this, because you're saying that you assume that all women are hoes, excuse me, 304s. But now, if women had the same view of men on the opposite side, would that be a fair assumption that we put on each other? If she feels like you ain't gonna be nothing but a player or hot boy or this, that, and the third, like what's the difference? So definitely keep that in mind. Shout out to Eugene Steele. He says Kevin once said for women to ask themselves, what can you offer a man that you haven't given to others? That's a great, great question. um and most men want to hear that you haven't given a man children. But if you're at a certain age in this channel, and I would say that this channel, the age group on this channel is predominantly from 35 to 50 over here. So at 35 to 50, most people have had a child. Most people have had a child. So I don't know if that's necessarily a great question for the 35 to 50 year olds, because most people have had long-term relationships at some point, and a child has probably come out of that, or children in general. So I think that's a great question, though. What do y'all think about this question before we get off into this article? What can you offer a man that you haven't given to others? And is that a Kevin Samuels thing, or do most men have this thought process?
Go ahead, Naima. You get that one. I'll go after you.
Well, I mean, basically, if you're asking, um, what can you offer a man that you haven't given to others? Other than that, if you're not a virgin, then basically you will, give a man similar things. To be honest, right? But I guess if you want to break it down, you don't give everybody your all anyway. Everyone's not deserving of your all. So in a sense, yeah, you will bring something different because you don't give your all, especially if it's not to your husband. You don't give a man your all. Mm-mm. No.
You
Is it?
actually,
Go
I think
ahead.
you actually answered that perfectly because I was going to say I definitely don't want a virgin, but I don't think he's actually talking about sex exclusively, but anything that a mature woman can give in a relationship. I'm sure if she was in a committed relationship before me, she should have definitely made an attempt to do everything that she's making an attempt to do for me. But again, I have to reiterate what Naima said, and I agree 100%. She's going to give me her all. And if she's doing that, then that's absolutely something that she didn't do before, quite possibly. But at the same time, why would you want a woman who doesn't even have the experience that she could actually satisfy a man adequately? So I'm not even looking for a woman who's never given things to another man that she's even considering giving to me.
I always thought of that question as a very I think it's a very interesting question, because if you're in a relationship and you and that person are having a mutual relationship, then it's hard to restrain yourself for what you choose to give that person. If you love a person or you really care about a person, then you're going to do what you love, and you express your love and concern or and care with just the way you express your love, concern, and care. I think that that's, to me, that's probably a question more so for younger people, because I think as you get older and you've been in long-term relationships, I think it's hard not to give yourself to a man, but you might have to customize the way you love that man. And I think that would be a more accurate thing. I'll do what that man requires and love on him the way that he likes to be loved. But what can I offer a man that I haven't given others? What does a man have that others don't have? That's a terrible question. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I think it's a good question though. I think it's a really good question. Shout out to MGTOW Universe. He says, I really don't care about her assumptions. I am who I am and who I am not. I know I'm not a player and she will see that. If not, on to the next. I think that's a great point. Thank you so much for that super
And you
chat.
and you know what? Let's get into these numbers. So, according to the Foundation Sealy's, worldwide there's an estimated 40 to 42 million prostitutes.
Uh-oh.
Worldwide, 80% of the world prostitutes are females, ranging between the ages of 13 and 25, right? So then we have
Mm-hmm.
90% of all prostitutes are dependent on the pimp, on the pimping, right?
Not the
And the
pimping.
but guess in the US, there are an estimated 1 to 2 million prostitutes. Now, out the 42 million worldwide, there are about a million men prostitutes. Hmm. So men,
Okay.
yeah. So you look like a men trying to get to the bag too now. Oh, look, if people act like they don't exist, they exist. Okay.
You subscribe to his OnlyFans, not even.
No, but I think so.
I'm gonna read the article. It says, why do men visit prostitutes? This may seem like a silly question with a one-word answer, but advocates battling sex trafficking say the reasons are actually quite complex and could be the key to understanding the changing face of prostitution in modern times. Psychologists from international advocacy groups sat down with 700 Johns in several countries to learn why they decided to pay for sex. The study has illuminated some personal stories of loneliness to pure desire. No big deal, it's just like getting a beer, a man said, while others suspected that women were held against their will. I don't want to dive off into the messed up parts about these stories. I actually just want to talk about like women who want to sex work and who don't mind getting paid for selling a cooch. That's the only place I'm trying to go with it. I'm not trying to go off into the weeds with it. So the guy, they go on to say she was frightened and nervous. She told me she had been tricked. One man in London told researchers from a non-profit prostitution research and education and London-based charity Eves. Gone are the heydays of the local brothel or even the red light district. With the rise of the internet, a new anonymity, say that word. I'm sorry.
Anonymity. Anonymity. Anonymity.
Anonymity. There we go.
Anonymity?
You got
Anonymity?
anonymity.
Y'all
Anonymity.
know I got a Mississippi public school education. Please forgive me. These big words, child. Okay, it says a new anonymity was born, and with it, a covert business model that blended in with local homes and businesses. Some internet advertisements are from the individual prostitutes, and some are from pimps who run sex trafficking rings that exploit women captured into sex slavery through force, threats of violence, or coercion. And this is kind of getting off into the weeds a little bit, but
I
I
think
kind of
it's
want to get into like okay, so they do go into like why. So they say prostitution is like masturbation without having to use your hand. And when it gets down to that, then it's like sex is becoming way more transactional, but people don't really have an incentive to really get married nowadays. And what would be a person's incentive to get married? Naima, I'll start with you.
Well, when you want to get married, then you're thinking of companionship, family, legacy, your future, basically setting up for your children, making sure you and your spouses set, your children set. So you're thinking the long game is called, right? It's even with stocks, right? There's a short game, there's a long game. You know, you invest into short game, you invest in long game. And the marriage is for you to have your companionship, your partner, and that's the long game, right? That's a long time commitment. So a lot of people will, they want to, scratch their nose up and say, "Oh, I'm not never getting married." Yeah, but you're 20, but you're 30, right? Yeah, just let go ahead and grow up a little bit. Let's get into your 40s and 50s, and you're like, wait, you're looking around like I don't have a companionship. I don't have who's going.
Yeah, but do women are women still on a type on that type of time, and are men still on that type of time? Because nowadays you'll see women saying, "You know what? It's too much work to get married. I'm satisfied over here. I can swipe left, swipe right on Tinder. I could post up a pretty picture on Facebook. I'm still going to get the attention. I just don't have to deal with a man and all his BS throughout the duration of, it could be a very transactional thing. He comes over, we may go to dinner, he may give me some money. We chilling, and he can go on his way, I can go on mine. Where's the incentive there outside of starting a family? And we all know that the marriage rate is down. The rate that we have kids are down. What would be an incentive to get married nowadays? And Naima, I think you named some great reasons, but a lot of people are saying, you know what? I am at a certain age. I've built my career. I have my home. I have my cars. I have just about everything that I want, but I don't have a full companion. But I'm not incentivized to get to seek that out anymore.
But remember, Danny, too, like who are really buying homes, right? If you look at the numbers, women are buying more homes than men are.
Mm.
And they're content with being single only because women we group up. We will group up. We'll get together with other women, right? We'll do workshops. We're in the community anyway, so there's nothing to women. Women are never alone. We will always group up and either we'll go out help the community. We'll do we help each other. So it's just another day for us. But for men, it's different. For
What's the
men, it's different. The difference is men don't get together with other men at older ages, whereas women, we always are together with other women. or aunties or girlfriends. We're always planning whatever's being planned. Women plan these different things. It's not the men who plan things, it's the women. So we'll plan the reunions, the cookouts. When someone passes away, we're getting everybody together. I'm being honest. So women
Oh.
know how to get together and okay with being alone because we're never really alone. We still have, each other, family, and friends and things.
You
Whereas
know,
men, they're more loners. They're like, okay, I don't need nobody. I'm gonna do this journey by myself, and they won't care in a sense.
you know what? I think we always complicate, or I guess we just think put too much emphasis on a lot of other variables that most people are just not even thinking about when they're out in the dating market. It's 9 times out of 10, you meet somebody who is in a certain mode or living a certain lifestyle that's compatible with your lifestyle. So if you're not somebody who's looking for a wife or a girlfriend, then that's a person who you should just not want to be in a relationship with, because that's not what they are here for. A lot of times we try to change people who were in the casual sex mode, and maybe that's what we did originally, but then you start catching feelings and you want to do more with that person than you first set out to do. The only thing that can incentivize me is my own lifestyle, the things that I'm already doing. If I am in a mode where all I want to do is have casual sex, there's really no way that any woman is going to get me to want to get married or anything, any relationship. So I'm probably unique in that way. So sometimes I try to think things from other people's perspective, but I've never been influenced by a woman to get into a relationship with her. She just caught me at the right time when I didn't have
Mm.
a whole bunch of hoes around. Maybe I just didn't feel like pumping and dumping with a bunch of hoes no more. That was just how I was feeling before I met her, and the
So
timing was everything.
it was proximity then.
Timing was really the main factor with me in particular, because I absolutely won't allow a woman to catch feelings with me if I don't want to have a relationship and I know it's not going to happen, no matter how high quality she is. And that's generally the type of woman that I deal with. I would never get a woman in her feelings and allow her to think that it's a possibility for us to have a relationship. I won't even have sex with her if I know she really is on that already. But usually you don't find that out until after sex. But yeah, I think it's a bad move and it's disingenuous. And I just don't lie to women. I don't mislead women. And I think that has a lot to do with why I have so much sex with women when I'm in that mood. Of course, I'm married now, but that generally works for me. Any woman that likes you, she's going to appreciate your honesty and you being upfront. Now, your approach and your style of approach, that's up to you. Whatever works for you. But lying
So
will get you nowhere.
you're basically saying that it's never really been on a woman to influence you. If you were dealing with her, you were dealing with her. She was cool because you deal with a certain type, or they just cool. But when you were done moving about, then you chose your best option out of the women you were dealing with.
Not necessarily, but the women that I meet during the time that I'm actually considering, or I'm living a certain type of lifestyle where I'm not just taking one down after another, then yeah, it's possible. Like we could actually talk about that. Whereas if I would have met that same woman 2 months ago, I would have probably not even been talking to her for longer than a couple weeks. Because if she would have start showing me all these feelings and shit, I can't deal with you no more because I know you're gonna start tripping. Because that's what women do who like you if you keep having sex with them. So I'm real firm on that. I don't like to make women dislike me because we had a relationship, and maybe I misled them for a couple extra weeks when I knew she told me she loved me on the third, but I'm still hitting on the 15th. See, that's how you
Mm.
get your windows bust out.
Shout out to D. He says marriage is not about companionship, the partner, and other feminist ideology. It's about duty, respect, honor, generational wealth, and legacy. Men no longer want marriage due to women valuing their happiness. What do you guys think about that statement?
I don't know. Marriage is definitely about companionship, but to each his own. I definitely don't want to be building a life and an empire with somebody who I don't enjoy their companionship or don't benefit from their companionship. But I can understand somebody who's not in a relationship specifically or exclusively for that reason. But yeah, why would I want somebody? Hold up, it says and other feminist ideology. It's about duty, respect. Yeah, it is about the duty and respect and honor and general generational wealth. Those are all important, but without the companionship, I think I'll probably just do that by myself.
Mm. Shout
Yeah.
out. Oh,
Uh,
go ahead, Naeem. I'm
I
sorry.
was going to jump in with D with this when he made this statement. Marriage is not about companionship, partner, another feminist ideology. It's about duty, respect, honor, generational wealth, and legacy. Men no longer want marriage due to women valuing their happiness. And I have to ask D because if you go back, right, women married men for the protection, right, and the provisions that the men offer, right. But a lot of times, women was never considered in those things. Everything was always geared to the man, right? The man never cared if she, what her thoughts were, right? Just I need you to cook, clean, right? Do the domestic duties, have my children, shut the F up, right? Sucking F, right? On call, on demand, all those different things. Basically, women being robots, right? And shut up while we're doing it. So in dealing with these things, do we have to say because the time frame that you're speaking, I don't know your age, so we have to say, are we really truly valuing our partners? Because it goes hand in hand, right? If we're both truly valuing our partners, then both partners will be happy if there's value that we truly possess within each other and for each other. And I think that's where we have to kind of break that part down. We
I
can't
think you
just
bring about a good point, Naima. Because if he's talking about duty, respect, honor, generational wealth, and legacy, companionship does go hand in companionship does go in there. The problem is, it's weird because I see a lot of these things from men. Men want and it's a terrible thing to say, and it's not going to come out right. So I already know it's not going to come out right. But it's almost like having a stepper wife, like the woman. And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with pleasing your mate and pleasing your man, but it's almost essentially saying that a woman shouldn't be concerned with her own happiness and being able to be concerned with her happiness and also being able to serve that man. And it seems like a lot of men aren't necessarily concerned with a woman's happiness because men feel like they're simple creatures themselves. A man says, all you got to do is F me right, fix me something to eat, shut up, bring me a beer, be fun to be around, etc. But they say that they're very simple. And so a lot of men seem to want women just to be in servitude to a certain degree from around this space, at least what I've noticed.
yes, men said yeah, we say that men are simple creatures and all I want is as they pull out the scroll.
You think it's them pulling out the scroll, Naima?
I'm, I'm being very dramatic.
They just pulling it out. Like, I want you to be able to F like a porn star. I want you to have long hair down to your butt. I want you to be 132 pounds, but I want you to have a fat ass. Um, I want you to be like I want you to have a really big butt. I want your breasts to sit up. I want you to not have any kids. I want you to never wear weave, eyelashes, makeup. I
See,
want you to
Danny,
look
do you
like a
get it?
dime when you wake up in the morning. I want you to be able to cook like the best chef I've ever had, serve some of the best food. I want you to be a comedian. I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be a nurse. I want you to only to cater to me. Is that too much to ask for though?
You
But you
know,
know what,
men,
Danny? But
men,
real quick, RG,
good.
because Danny, we're all those things. Whatever job that that exists for the most part, put our name on it because we do it. Let's be honest. All right, go ahead, RG. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you ask a man or if you ask anybody what they're looking for, they're gonna definitely run down a list of everything that you just mentioned. And the woman is gonna essentially tell us that she wants Prince Charming and he has to be a millionaire and he gotta have a dick down to his knees and and no baby mamas and he gotta own this and he gotta be able to put a ring on my finger that's 30, 50 bands. But he's supposed to figure that out when he meets you. So it sounds good. This is my ideal woman, but if he meets you and you're actually doing all these things and whatever else makes you unique, then that should be all of the incentive that any man needs that is interested in you per se. So I don't like to generalize when I say, I mean most people do, but I keep things in perspective. I don't really have a type. I never had a
Okay.
type. So I like the woman who I like when I meet her.
Okay, I'm gonna read these super chats. Shout out to D. He says, false. According to the UCLA, as women age, they report higher levels of loneliness than their male counterparts. D, we want to see the study. Where you find the study at? Shout out to the North Carolina Tar Heels. He says, he sent a super sticker. Thank you so much for that. Shout out to MGTOW Universe. He says men don't want to get married because first world family courts has made it perfectly clear it doesn't care about men and will almost always back the women. You know what, Big Towel Universe? That is a great point. I was thinking about that and I forgot about it, but that is a great point. You're saying I'm seeing a number of men saying that they don't want to deal with these laws, saying that if you get married and depending on what state you get married in, this woman would be entitled to half of your shit. Or they automatically get custody of the kids no matter what type of mother they are. They'd have to be the worst mother on earth to for custody to be taken away. And then even in that instance, she could still get her kids back if she improves herself. So I think that's a great point. Shout out to D again. He says it was geared toward preservation of family. To say women are robots is disingenuous. That's like saying the modern day stay-at-home wife has no value. I'm definitely not saying that at all. But when you talk to a lot of guys are saying that they can't get submission. They want a woman with old school traditional values. A lot of guys say that. So I don't think that's being disingenuous. A lot of men want to be served. I've heard a lot of men say that they can't have like women aren't interesting. And from the standpoint of like all women are is for sex, or they really don't have like genuine connections with women outside it being a sexual transaction. So that's the point that I'm getting at. Shout out to MGTOW Universe again. He says the things men want from women are free. The things women want from men tend to be expensive as fuck. Um,
Facts. But listen,
That's
so
not true. That's not
well,
true.
not
Only time
necessarily. But
only
wait, let me.
only time that's
I want to go in real quick, RD. Then I'll give it to you because MGTOW Universe, he was saying something on the last super chat that you posted about the laws. But the thing is, I want to point out that men make the laws, right? They make the
You
laws. They
have
make
a
the
great
laws out.
point, Naima, and there definitely has to be some answer to that because, and even if you have white men, you have white men that mostly sit on the Supreme Court. They sit heavily in the court system. Period. They sit on. They're the most represented in the judicial system, the legislature. They're present in all of those aspects. So if they're making the laws, why aren't, and they see that the laws are unfair, why aren't they changing those laws? Somebody's saying that men and women make the laws. That's interesting. Shout out to D again. He says it's geared toward. Oh, okay, I read that already. I'm sorry. I just think it's interesting because men do make the laws. Men do make the laws. So that's a good point. Are we ready to drop the link?
Well, I wanted to get back to what I was saying because in this society, we're spending over $180 billion, right? It's spent on the trickery, right? And we have a lot of women that, plays a part in that. It's over 10 million women, providing these services. So shout out to Ramil when with the hoes is winning, right? Because Ramil says it all the time, right? Hoes is going to do what they want to do. Men are going to spend what they want to spend. Nobody can control that, right? And also shout out to Mr. Research because he'll tell you he have no problems, no shame to his game for paying for what he wants. He says it's less hassle, right? So there's a niche for this that people tend to forget. So maybe is this what's basically tearing folks apart? Because they're like, wait, listen, I don't want to do none of this. I'd rather just go pay my $40, right?
So what do you think is more hoes now? Because it ain't never been more hoes or less hoes. Hoes and 304s or whatever you want to call them, BT 1000s, they ain't going nowhere. They ain't never went nowhere. So I wouldn't be. It's not as alarming to me as it seems like people thinking that the 304s is taking over. I mean, hoes have always been hoeing. So
But
nothing too much different than what's always been going on.
so let's get into the numbers because in China there's 5 million hoes prostituting. In India, we got 3 million hoes prostituting. In the United States, we got about 1 million. In the Philippines, we got about 800,000. Mexico, we got 500,000. Let's get into this Brazil number, 250,000. We know like going to Brazil, 250,000, but they noted children. Ugh, that's kind of 250,000 children. That's kind of yikes. So
there's a lot of hoes unaccounted for. They didn't fill out the census.
Wait, so listen,
the unaccounted hoe.
We got in Thailand, 250,000. So these are the places that listen. So when men say passport bros, we out of here. I see what's going on here. You got it.
Well, let's get to some of our guests on the panel. We'll start with Zulu first. Zulu, what are your thoughts? What would make a woman good enough to fuck, but not good enough to marry?
Because that's the state that we are in.
Oh, Zulu, my brother.
That is the remix.
And your camera on, but yeah, see if you can say something now because you have a lot of static or it's choppy. Choppy is a better word. Yeah, you still choppy, bruh. Get your audio together and we'll come back around to you. Okay. MGTOW Universe, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. What would make a woman good enough to fuck, but not good enough to marry?
I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's just casual, but as far as marriage material, there has to be more than just sexual interaction. She has to have some sort of intangible for me, anyways.
Have you ever been married?
No, I have not.
Have you ever been close to marriage?
Yes, I have.
What happened with that relationship?
I told her that I was gonna be a stepdad because I don't do the stepdad thing.
So it was the kids for you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
which would mean I would be legally liable for them.
Huh?
Mm.
Which means that I would be legally liable for them, and I wasn't
Yes.
gonna do that.
Okay. Okay. Um, Interesting. So, was that the only thing that made you say, you know what? No, I'm not going to get married to this woman?
I told her we had a conversation. Because after a few years, women start doing like what's going on? Are we gonna go to the next level or whatever? Like I'm not gonna be a stepdad. I told her this. It wasn't the first time I told her, but it was kind of like it was more definitive this time, and she decided to break it off. She was in her late 30s, so
How old are you?
and I'm 37. She
So
was older
you're
than
in
me
your
by
late
6
30s.
years.
She's how many kids does she have?
She has two. No,
Okay.
this was a few years ago. So she would be 43 today. But then she was in her late 30s and I was in my early 30s.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Have you found a woman who had her qualities outside of her?
What do you mean by that?
Like a woman that you would take serious, like you would be in a serious relationship outside of her.
Absolutely. Yes.
And what stops you from going all the way with them?
Some so it's usually like some quirk or something. She may say something that's a little off. For me,
Like, give
it
me an
only
example.
I
What
don't
would
I
what,
don't
what'd she say? What'd she say that you was like, hell nah, I'm
No,
good? What'd she
wasn't
say?
it
Let
wasn't
us know.
nothing it wasn't nothing like that, but it's just like me, maybe I'm too critical because I listen to every single word women say.
And you
So if
take
I
that shit serious?
of course, why
Oh,
wouldn't
you
I take it
wild as
serious?
hell, bruh.
But my stance is if I'm taking you seriously, then I'm already looking at you as a wife. It's just it's on you to not fuck it up. Or excuse me,
Okay.
F it up. Um that's my stance on it. But I'm not a casual sex kind of guy. I mean, I don't know, probably two one night stands in my entire life, but I've never been the casual type of guy. That's I don't roll like that.
Okay. So you're a relationship type of guy,
I am.
but you're very critical and very particular about what you want.
Because in this country, this country right here, if you pick wrong, it's my ass. Whether
Okay.
it's my fault or not.
Have you explored other countries and like going to get you one?
Yes.
What happened in those
Like last
situations?
week,
Oh, last week.
there. You
Damn.
remember? No, y'all had the live stream last week where we was talking about SYSBM.
Uh-huh.
So whenever Colombia lifts their uh, shot ban or whatever, and their restrictions, then I'm going there first thing smoking. That's the plan,
Okay. So you headed to Colombia to get a Colombian single mother? The single mother rate is high over there now.
ma'am. Ma'am, don't do me like that.
I'm just saying. I read the stats. It's high.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
high.
It is high, but there's nothing that Colombia has that America doesn't.
Okay. Okay.
Only, but the other way, there's plenty that Colombia has that American women don't.
But
Gotcha.
I'm going to say, make how you forget, right? They have the submissiveness that American women lack, right?
I'm sorry, say that again. I
I
apologize.
said that they lack. I mean, they have the submissiveness that American women lack,
Correct.
as they tell it, right? As they
Yes.
tell it. Okay.
They're from a society. They're from a society that tends to raise their girls as wives, and we live in a society that doesn't.
Let me ask my man a question. MGTOW, that's men go their own way, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm not being facetious at all, because I really don't know much about the ideology, but at face value, I have done a little bit of I tapped in with y'all a little bit. Men go their own way. When all the men go their own way, right?
Mhm.
Where do they go? And is it going to be any hoes there?
No. Men going their own way is just basically, if I had to sum it up in simplify it, it would be just men putting themselves first. Because in a lot of societies, especially in ours, men are encouraged. The example of being the stepdad, we hear all the time that, if a man isn't willing to be a stepdad, then he's not a real man. Obviously, that's not in the man's best interest to be a stepdad. But the pressure comes, the woman gives the pressure from the parents, so on and so forth. So basically, again, it's men putting themselves first, doing what's smart for them, doing what they want to do. If I had to simplify it.
Okay, because I mean, in that scenario with being a step parent or being pressured into some type of marriage by somebody's parents, yeah, I'm supporting you on that. I wouldn't go
Yeah.
for that at all. But it just seems like you don't really have to go your own way. So maybe I need to get a little bit more in tune with what it's actually about, because that seems kind of like the general consensus among men. Nobody wants to be with a woman who has a baby daddy or
Right.
multiple baby daddies. So I
Right.
definitely support that. But women, and it seems to get a little deeper with like women and their
Mhm.
I guess these new independent women and the way that they kind of want things to be structured. Like, how you feel about the women who are like strategically single, but when they get older, they want you or another high value man or a good catch. They want you to be their husband now after they hit the wall.
Um. So, uh, not trying to be rude, but that's just not where my headspace is at. If I was looking for a wife in America, I would be considering that. But where I'm going, it's not even. It's an afterthought. Because I'm just putting myself in a different market of women, where and of course, single women, single mothers in Colombia. Of course, I think if I'm not mistaken, the single mother rate is actually higher in Colombia than it is in America, but it's still those women are raised a certain way, and I don't want to argue with the women about me being the leader or any of these other things that we concern ourselves in America. It's just, to me, marrying in America for men is just not the move, in my opinion.
Okay. So as long as the ladies know, because a lot of ladies think that they could just have 2 and 3 baby daddies and a couple crumb snatchers, and they think they still a dime. Well, you might be cute, but
They can have all the Pookie and Ray Rays they want. They perfect for each other. Let their ass stay in the hood. I'm going over here.
But listen, 'cause
But wait a
I
minute.
want to jump in here. I want to jump in here with this one because. But let me jump in here. MGTOW, do you have children?
I do not.
Right. So listen, MGTOW, you don't have any children. You can have whatever your little heart desires. Okay, trust me. And I'm
Why my heart got to be little?
Well, no, I don't mean like that. But what I'm saying is, whatever your heart desires, you can have those things. Know why? Because you don't have children. If you want to have another woman from another country who don't have children, you can do that. You have the right to do that, and everyone has their right. But
Right.
but what I hear is from men who have children. They want to MGTOW. They want to be a MGTOW after they had 3 and 4 kids of their own, and they never presented or proposed to any of their baby mamas. Now they're saying the same speech that you're saying, right? But you made sure that you didn't have no children, and I'm sure that when you have children, you are going to have your wife. You're going to have your children underneath that marriage,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So you doing things the way that you want to do, and listen, and you can do that. But the hypocrisy come to these men who already had these kids. Now they want to be on your same wavelength, and it's like, but wait, like, yeah.
Well, I think most men come to the manosphere after they screwed up, usually in a divorce or in child support, and they're angry. They got screwed by the court and or by their wife, and that's how they ended up here, which is fine. Sometimes you got to get kicked in the mouth for you to learn your lesson. You have to learn it the hard way. So I don't count that against them. And it's fine to have kids and want someone without a kid. Uh, I know women go like,
no,
well, what
I
about us?
agree with that.
No, I just no.
I was actually going to say,
If you have kids,
Naima,
But
But it's
but
different
no,
for men than it is for women, though, because
But
men
now
are
you
no,
expected to pay and women are not.
you dropped it down. I want
No,
that
no, but
comment. I want that comment up there.
we have to keep it. We have to keep it. We have to keep it fair. For
I
example,
like with a
single men should not
But see,
date.
this is when you're dealing with somebody who's desperate and has to throw themselves at any and everybody who says they have a little money because they've hit the wall, but they haven't been able to get the same type of man that I got. She's having to prostitute herself out and offer that and throw that pussy all over YouTube, and she still ain't really got nobody worthwhile. She still got to get on here and thirst trap at 6-7 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Atari, how you doing, honey? Go ahead, John.
No, but I want
Yeah, but the
to say
most-
something real
I'm
quick.
sorry,
Let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
If
Wait,
you
hold
are a
on.
single,
Wings. Wait, hold on. I want to address this Cornelius Bellamy before you go in. So he's saying that Cornelius Bellamy. Wait, where's this? Okay.
We've already had that argument 10 years ago. He's behind 10 years. We've already had that debate plenty of times.
But no, but I
Men-
want to because
Go ahead.
I want to address this because Cornelius Bellamy is saying they are not MGTOW men, right? But no, that's not true because I see men going to other races of women or MGTOWing, right? And they are getting with other single mothers of other cultures and races. So no, I can't believe that one. No.
MGTOW doesn't mean
can't go on that
anti-woman. It doesn't mean
Oh, okay,
anti-woman.
but I'm just saying. So, but I do see other men that will marry another single mother that's of other races and other cultures and countries. So, no, I can't go with that one. I'm sorry.
no,
If
yeah,
it-
no. But let
ahead.
me say something real quick. If you are a single man, you should not date a single mother, and if you're a single woman, you should not date a single father. It needs to be consistent on both sides.
But what if he doesn't have custody of his kids, but he's visiting and he's paying his bills, but
Yeah, but there's
technically
drama.
he's-
There's always going to be drama with that. It's not
No, it wasn't.
part
No,
of it's the kid, but it's also the drama between women. That's why That's why you have blended families, right? If he has a kid, then you should find a woman who also has a kid. You just make a
I
blended
don't know about
family
that one.
because they can understand. Yeah, you can understand that. You need to be consistent. Why would you, as a single person, put yourself in that situation for drama, potential drama and bullshit? It needs
You
to be
can
equal on both
have
sides.
drama with when you if
Yeah,
a-
yeah, no doubt, but it's different, bro. It's different. I would
How?
never ever advertise any single person to be with a single parent. Single parent.
I'm not
should be with other
advertising it
single
either,
parents.
but I'm just saying it's different when men are single dads, or rather they have kids and they don't have custody most of the time, which usually happens, and they're paying their child support or whatever. It's not the same as a single mother that has their kids with
No,
them
no, it's not
most
the
of the
same,
time.
but there's still challenges. There's still challenges. There's going to
Absolutely.
be more challenges.
Absolutely.
There's going to be more challenges dealing with a single father than a man with no children.
I agree.
Fact.
No, it's not. It's how you been.
Absolutely, yes, it is. Absolutely.
Is his audio choppy or is it just
Wait,
me?
Zulu, honey, your sound is very, very, very choppy. You
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you to do. If you're dealing with other apps, you're probably gonna have to close out those other apps and come back and just stay on what you call it.
Well, can I give my opening statement? Because this
Sure.
dude is okay. So, well, shout out to the panel, Sister George. How you doing? SYSBM. Shout out to my SYSBM folks. So, what makes her good enough to fuck but not to marry? If she was raised without a father, more than likely she's not good enough to marry. If she has multiple kids but multiple men, not good enough to marry. Different from having kids from one person, because blended family is fine. But if she got 3 kids by 3 different dudes, then yeah, she ain't good enough to marry. And pretty much, dating Americans, UK Canadians, right? Not good enough to marry because the court's going to get you, right? I would definitely advertise SYSBM, go abroad, get yourself a nice woman. Are there hoes abroad? Absolutely. Are there horrible people? Absolutely. But in America, I would say 20% of women are good versus abroad, 50 to 60% are good. So it's just a matter of, do you want to deal with 80% of bullshit just to find the 20%? Or do you want to deal with 40% of bullshit to find the 60%? And I'll close with that. And I do live abroad. I've been living in Shanghai, China for 8 years. I've been out of America for 15 years. So I practice what I preach.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm gonna get to David Johnson.
No questions? Why every time I come
You
up,
know
there's
what?
no questions?
One of my kids came in and it was. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to. Naima, a recognized game. Y'all don't have no questions for Ween signing ish.
We appreciate your contribution, Wayne signing ish, but that Nike sign. Thank you. We're gonna move on to David.
All right, can y'all hear me? Goddamn it!
Yes, David, we can hear you, brother.
Salute to everybody. I'm full as hell. Forgive me. I just ate about 5 chicken tacos. I'm full. Salute to everybody on the panel.
You know, David, they did just say you was
Salute,
fat.
bro.
Yeah, you know they've been saying I'm fat, but the whole time I'm muscular. I'm good looking. But you know what they say when they can't get the truth on you, they make up lies. I'm cool. People been lying my whole life. I'm used to it. But all right. First, let me say this. First things first. What was the original question? What was your initial question y'all asked everybody?
Why?
Why are you good enough to fuck and not married?
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Perfect, easy mentality for me. Mentality proves if I can build with you, work with you, longevity with you. Your weak ass, hoe ass mentality means you good for a fuck. Simple, straight to the point. Let me get to my next topic. Let me get to the next point. My next point. Let me say this. This y'all made me think of something listening to y'all, and I haven't quite worked out the bugs. I typically like to, work out bugs when I get a brainstorm of an idea, but because it happened right now, I'm gonna just run it by and we'll work out the bugs as we go. You guys were talking about tricking and hoeing. I was analyzing that. Y'all know I'm a game nigga. I ain't about to tricking, but I ain't against tricking either, because I believe in sometimes if you ain't got the game and if you don't want to run the game, you want to save some time. Money can save the time. But I was analyzing.
David, people spend $180 billion in the sex game. Okay, but go ahead.
Right. And listen to me. And I'm gonna say this. I'm a firm believer in my time is more valuable than my money. I hear people say all the time, time is money, and money is time, and time is money. I disagree. Time is much more valuable than money. I would rather fuck off the money. I'd rather fuck off 30,000 right now than 30 minutes ago, because you know why? I can never get 30 minutes ago back. I can get 30,000 times 10 back easy. So at the end of the day,
David, that's dramatic. You're not. Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
It's second time. Naima, goddamn, can I get on the roll? Let me lay my premise out, then you can attack.
Go ahead.
So what I analyzed was I noticed that the hoes are not mad about being hoes. The tricks are not mad about tricking. So let's put them aside. So we like, okay, if the hoes ain't mad for hoeing and the tricks ain't mad for tricking, then it ain't the issue. So then it lets me know, who the real fucking cappers are? The average people. See, the average people, let's be honest, most women ain't fine. Let's say most men ain't fine. Let's say majority of people are average. And I'm doing a piece, I'm going to do a piece called, I'm doing a stream called Everybody Settles. I wanted to say women always settle. Matter of fact, that's what I take it back. It's women always settle. Women always settle. The point is everybody settles. The thing is this, men are more accepting of settling. Men, like y'all say a man will fuck anything, which in some cases that's true. A nigga fuck a fish. That's a fact. So that's why y'all shouldn't feel good when niggas is chasing you. Niggas is telling 50 women, 50 ladies, 50 women the same goddamn line. You feel special because he said it to you, but the point I'm learning is this, that it's the men, if she's decent, she ain't about to be fine. She could be a 6, she could be a 5. And niggas is with 5 and 6s every day. The average woman is not a 10. The average woman is not a 9 or an 8. The average woman is a 7 and below for most parts. So that already proves, and we know plenty of these women got niggas. So and most niggas are not going, no, baby, I just want to hit. I don't want the relationship. So that proves we already know most men are accepting and they're settling. It's the women who always end up settling, but who fight settling all day. So they run through a bunch of good niggas. They do a bunch of good niggas bad because they're in their minds, they're telling themselves, I don't have to settle. I don't have to settle. I've heard when I deal with my women, and I tell them, I say, look, bitch, no, forgive me for that. I say, you ain't gonna do better than me. I can guarantee you.
You have to give us the short version, honey.
I am third time now. I'm giving some shit people ain't never heard, just like the third goddamn interruption. I only been on here about 2:30, about 2 minutes right now. So let me say this. All right. So then I tell all my women, I'm like, you ain't gonna find better than me. And every single one of them, I ain't never had one go, you know what, you might be right, but they always go, yes, I am, and they never do. So you know what that told me? That in their minds, and this is how I learned this from experience, not what I think. They always, you guys are I call it delusional optimism. Women are always delusionally optimistic. I can always do better, and we see the truth burning, nigga. The tit dogs, tit dogs is hollering. So listen.
Well, you know what, David? Because you done said a lot of shit, and I have to. I have to. No, just stay right here. Stay right here. I want you to stay right here. I want you to stay right here.
When you done, can I finish what I was saying when you done with this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. David, if you go around and pick women who have bad self-esteem and you tell them that they're not going to find a woman that's better than them, so you're already planting something into their subconscious. If you know that you didn't got a certain type of woman and you're able to plant those seeds of doubts within her, then yeah, she's probably not gonna find a better type of woman because you knew where you got her from. When you dealing with a woman that's bad and that's got her shit together, yes, not only did she find you, she'll find somebody else. Ooh, child, go ahead. I just had to address that.
I appreciate it. And listen, they don't be having low self-esteem. You just insulted me, goddammit. I get nice looking women. I'm talking about the women I fuck with don't even wear makeup. That's how you know they nice looking.
Don't mean they ain't got the prettiest ones. Usually do have the lowest self-esteem. But go ahead.
One thing they know though, they can get another nigga if niggas ain't shit. See, the reason I say that, it has nothing to do with her self-esteem. See, you just misunderstand it. They're now gonna cook your ass, Sister George. It has everything to do with my goddamn self-esteem. It's esteem for me. And at the end of the day, that's how I deem myself. And you know why I know I'm telling the truth? Because I know it ain't a million David Johnsons. Hell, it ain't even a million good niggas. The average nigga is halfway weak. That's why y'all able to run these games on them. So let's be real. Slick, sharp, well-educated, good-looking, got their money together, all that, all the way around. It's spiritual, whatever you want to talk. We not a dime a dozen. That has nothing to do with her. That has nothing to do with the women. It has everything to do with me. Now that I've just checkmated that, now I'm going to get back to what I was initially saying. So ultimately, it's the women who are in denial who are fighting the settling. So ultimately, and coming back, see, this is what I'm saying. Hold on. And what was the title? See, y'all just made me lose my thought. Okay, good
enough to fuck, but not good enough to marry.
You don't want to settle, David. That's the end of it. But yeah, so men would say, okay, that in the sense that I get it. You have your woman who doesn't have makeup, right? She doesn't need makeup.
Women, not women. Women.
But guess where they put their money, right? Guess where they jerk off to in these magazines, to the woman full face of makeup, David.
Okay, wait. Well, let me respond. Let me respond.
$180 billion industry. Face full of makeup. They get paid.
Let me respond.
I'm just asking why.
Okay, listen, men. I just said men will fuck a fish. I mean, you didn't hear me. So if we got a decent seven,
or the snake, the snake, if it didn't have teeth, they'll put their pin in there too.
Goddamn. I'm gonna let you get it. I'm gonna wait. Just let me know when you're ready. Now I go when you're done. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. No, I just wanted to make that point because you made it a point to say that the women don't have the makeup, yet you tend to, men tend to cheat on the opposite of what they already have, which is the woman.
Let me stop you. I'm a man. If you think men around this motherfucker chasing makeup, see, this is why it's not good for women to teach about getting men. Men don't give a shit about no makeup. Now listen, if it makes
that's not my point. My point is that they are wearing it, David, because there's some. Okay, so let me go. Let me go and get my clarity, because what I'm saying is that the woman who have a full face of makeup that's exciting and it leads you to the light. Carolyn, coming to the light. That makeup will bring you into the light, right? So so trust me, I know. I wear makeup. I don't wear makeup, and I do wear makeup. So I know the effect of the glittery, right?
Wait, Juan Solo, everybody has to go in order, okay?
All right, well, yeah, because I can't finish. So the whole point I'm making is, at the end of the day, I'm coming back to the point. At the end of the day, it does come back to the women. See, you and George, you and Sister George, y'all interfering because y'all know I'm coming for y'all. See, at the end of the day, it's really the women. Like, watch this. If telling the truth was all men had to do to women, most men don't have game. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. The reason why game, being slick, lying, telling her what she wants to hear, it's popular. It's not because men are into that. It's because that's the bait to catch the fish we catch. That's what y'all are into. So the bottom line is, y'all keep this whole thing going with your lying to your denial about settling when all y'all goddamn settle. Okay, when I say settle, the nigga most women end up with was not the first nigga she wanted. It's a fact. Most of the niggas y'all end up being with were not even shit. In some cases, y'all top 3. So ultimately, all this game playing and playing up and down the street, and I gotta lie and trick you, and I gotta do it all comes back to y'all feet. Because like I said earlier, the tricks and the hoes ain't got a problem with doing what they doing. So it ain't the hoes and it ain't the tricks. So it's gotta be the average people. And like I said, the average man will accept an average woman, and he will be with that average ass woman. See, if he get a woman that'll cook him a meal, she could be decent looking, fucking good. That don't mean he won't have other women, but he'll stay with that woman until she leaves. Most men are not into breaking off relationships, which again proves who the problem is. The 70% divorce rate proves that. The fact that we all know that most of them niggas getting put out is the chick putting out the nigga or she breaking up. It ain't the man going, you know what, I'm tired of this shit, you succubus. Look at Will Smith. Look at Kanye West. I check and made a goddamn again. The niggas don't.
What?
So it ain't the man. It's
No,
y'all
baby,
again.
no,
My
but go
name's
ahead.
David
Wait a
Johnson.
minute.
Here once again. Good night.
Child, Hurricane David is in the building, child.
David, we thank you for your dissertation. We appreciate those things. But listen, no, you said that men do not leave, right? Because men get very comfortable. And if men have a little side piece on the side, why would he leave? He got his main girl, his side chick. And you guys say it all the time. But with the main chick, you got the side chick. I keep all my women in check. And David, you said those things too, right? So why would you leave? It's comfortable for you. You got your main chick, side chick. She's cooking over here. She's, effing and sucking over there and all of these different things. So why would you, right? So the woman will get fed up and put you out or say goodbye. That's
So
why
now
would
we,
you leave.
now we know who the problem is. Listen, the delusional, opportunistic, optimistic, the bitch. Somebody got
I
it.
agree with what he's saying.
Wait a minute, Juan Solo. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, when it comes to women putting men and stuff out, it don't be because they tired. It because they want to do their own thing too, and that happens in a lot of situations.
Have you ever been in a
Even-
long-term relationship, Juan Solo?
9 years.
9 years. You're still in one now?
I'm in a different one now, and I've been in that one for 5 years. But
Okay,
all
so
I'm saying
you've been in
is
this relationship for 5 years. So if you're saying that if the woman leaves, a woman just can't be tired of your shit. She just can't be tired of it.
no, that be an excuse that they use so that they can move on. Cause y'all know y'all like to use that shit. Y'all be cool with some shit, and then when y'all find another nigga, now you can't leave a dish in the damn sink, and you gotta break up. So let's not play no ball. Let's not play those games.
You know
Let's not
what,
play those games.
Juan Solo, I'm gonna be honest with you now. I don't want you to be mad. This is Tough
Oh, no.
Talk TV.
What?
Juan Solo, it just sounds like you got cheated on by a bitch, and then you saying that's the excuse that she used, that she tired. No, Juan Solo, you did some shit and she was tired, and then she decided to move on. Wait a minute, because y'all will tell us that most affairs are emotional, right? So she
For
has to
women.
leave the
For women.
relationship emotional. She has to leave the relationship mentally, and then she'll leave it physically, right?
Don't go down.
Emotional, but it be for female. But hold on,
Child, y'all getting left because y'all been showing y'all ass.
No. Let me check it. Now that's cap, because the whole point of the matter is it comes down to the definition of what a relationship is. Like I said this on y'all stream before. It's a mentality. That's why I wanted to answer the question today when you said what makes good enough to fuck but not good enough to marry. It's a mentality. Like if you got a box, you're good enough to fuck. But I'm not gonna marry somebody who I have to keep worrying about is gonna be doing what she want to do, and when she get mad, she want to go and do her own thing and
So
expect
why
me
would
to
you
be
be
there.
with her for
Hey,
9
hold on. Wait, who said that happened in a 9-year relationship? I was just saying I was in a relationship for 9 years. That's you making an assumption. But my thing is this. If the whole I've seen relationships. I got friends. I'm 36 years old. I've seen the game. I'm from a kid up to now. Women leave because they're emotional and they find somebody else.
Facts.
And then they'll go back and come up with an excuse. That's why if let's say if a dude is on a break with a girl, the girl will be constantly asking, "Are you talking to somebody else? Are you talking to somebody else?" And then you be like, "No, are you talking to somebody else?" Well, there is this. Okay, so that's why you keep asking me, because that gives you justification to do what you want to do. Because women are subconscious about what they do. But
You
now,
know what? This sounds like a crock of bullshit to me.
It ain't.
And I'm gonna tell
It
you
ain't.
why it sounds like
It
some
ain't.
bullshit.
We
The
owe y'all-
bullshit is I have not heard an ounce of accountability for what it is that you did to cause the demise of your relationship. A relationship takes two people two people that have to equally give. If somebody's not doing their part, then that's when shit usually goes out the window. If she's cooking, cleaning, fucking and sucking and being a good woman that she was being, and then all of a sudden that shit switches up, it's not like that shit just switches up out of nowhere. But I have not heard an ounce of accountability from your standpoint, nor have I heard any accountability from most men. Most men will be like, oh, well, she good enough to fucking, but she ain't not good enough to marry because she'll be talking to this one, that one, and that one. And then you wait a minute, Juan Solo, because then you'll sit over here and talk about, well, you know, I'd be worried about her talking to other men and shit. That sounds like some insecure ass shit to me. I don't know.
So it makes you insecure because somebody else is doing something that they want to do, and you know that is wrong, and you know they wouldn't accept it if you was doing it. That's an insecurity.
Nah, the fact of the matter is, if you sitting over there worried about what the bitch doing, who the bitch talking to, where the bitch going, how the bitch doing this, how the bitch doing that, then I mean you ain't got enough shit to do your damn self. You need something else to do. You over here worried about the bitch. What you worried about the bitch for?
Hold on. That's incorrect. That's incorrect because hold on. That don't got nothing to do. That don't got nothing to do with an insecurity. That has something more to do with you having a concern, because the insecurity will be for me to try to stop.
If you concerned, why you still with that hoe?
Let me finish. Can I finish? Because you were talking about accountability, but yeah, it seems like you're trying to take the accountability that women have and try to put it back on the men. Like I just said, it don't matter if you just try to make my ex to be like a perfect girl who just got tired of the bullshit. That's not how it went down. The motherfucker caught feeling for somebody else. Wait. The motherfucker got feeling for somebody else, and then everything that we were doing that she was used to now is a problem. So when you say, well, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, well, I wasn't doing if we're going to go off your logic, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do for years, and you was cool with it. But when you start talking to somebody else, now it's an issue. That means that you're being influenced.
Tired of your shit.
Wait. That means, okay, that means she should have been left then, right?
She thought she was gonna stop. You
no, it ain't no. Once again, look, accountability. I ain't begging nobody. Accountability. You just talking about accountability. Is that not accountability for her? If she wants to be with somebody else, or she tired of my shit, then that means she should leave, right?
See, this is the problem. Y'all want the women to lead the relationships, and then y'all want to tell us that y'all leading the relationship, and then when the woman, you want the woman to be in the lead of the relationship. What the hell is going on over here?
Oh, talking about who said we wanted to be in the lead? That don't got nothing to do with being in the lead. Are you going to do your part? And are you going to do your part for when you're ready to do it? Or are you going to do it because you're in a relationship? If you're going to do it when you're ready to do it, then you don't need to be in a relationship because you're not ready to be in a relationship. And basically all that person is just is a placeholder until you find somebody else. And a lot of women do that. Men can have side women, and guess what? They'll go smash their side woman, come home. Corey Hooker said it best. Men will go smash his side chick and come home and play with the kids and tell his wife he love her and all that stuff. Women have a side nigga and get to the house and ask that nigga did he make it home yet.
Listen,
so like I said, that part I gotta get back to work, y'all. I gotta get back to work.
Oh, yes,
go on solo. Make sure you come back.
But listen, but it's funny because he talks about accountability, but yet when David mentioned Kanye West, before Kanye West got with Kim been a porn star on tape, right? And then he moved on she moved on from Kanye very quickly, and he was confused. She been a porn star. Of course, you want to find another player. Come on now.
The women
it sound like he just don't have his woman in pocket. See, I wouldn't be worried about none of that. See, she obviously ain't with your program. She obviously ain't with your program if you got to worry about any of those type of issues that he was just talking about. So Sister George is right. You know, if you actually got to worry about all this, why are you with her? Right. I wouldn't have nothing up under me if she would stay out of pocket. Yeah. So, you know, and if she ain't giving you no reason, if she really is giving you those reasons and you really do have some things that you've seen her doing that she shouldn't have been doing, then you definitely shouldn't have been there. So, you know, it sounds like you making all these problems for yourself, my man.
Going through the phone and then staying in the damn relationship. What you doing?
Well, that's too much going on.
I say this though. I'm never gonna be with. I tell my chicks like this. I'm not finna jump in your pocket and go with you. Like for me to be worrying about what a broad is doing, that's way too much stress. I got way more too much shit to do. So even if she, like I said, like Recognized Game just said, if she's showing that, then you either need to deal with it and just shut up and eat it or get rid of it. Shake it like a motherfucker. But for me, like I said, if I see it, I ain't dealing with it. I don't play that. I'm not second to no other nigga. Cool, you can have that, man. I don't got no problem. Go ahead and go do that. I told y'all, all my women that said they was gonna do it, all of them, they not only did that shit not only did they not do better, they end up not even being with that dude. And this is what I'm saying about the settling. And this is why, they try to get us off the point. We were showing at the end of the day that women be the ones fucking up all this shit. Bottom goddamn line.
It is women that's breaking.
They don't mess it up.
I love these fairy tales. I love that you guys stay in Disneyland. I love the fairy tales. The fairy tales are wonderful.
What's the fairy tale?
Because y'all would get over here and say, well, women messed all this up. And we did fuck up some things, but there's accountability to go all the way around. The fact that a dude will sit over there and say, well, I had a side chick for years, and when I had this side chick, she was over there chilling for a long time, and then when she found somebody, then it was messed up. Straw man.
Nobody said that.
Look, the only
it's a
lot of
Jose, Juan Solo just said that. He said that when the woman he was doing his thing for years. He said he was doing his thing for years. As soon as the woman found somebody, then she wanted to switch it up. And I'm saying, y'all will sit over here and act like, oh, the problem is the woman. If you done cheated on me and I done put up with your shit for some years, you goddamn right, I get tired of your ass. Women get tired of that. You coming in at 10 o'clock, you was supposed to be home at 6. You coming in, you might smell like a little perfume. You might have some glitter on the side of your neck. Hell, women get tired of this shit.
Did he say he was cheating on her though, or no?
He said he was doing his thing and she ain't had no problem with it for years. Okay, that's what he said.
Now listen, bottom line, end of the day, y'all be around here capping. Y'all gonna end up settling all that old shit y'all said y'all was gonna get. 95% of y'all ain't gonna get none of that shit or a piece of that shit. So at the end of the day, stop the fucking cap, stop the goddamn wasting times and playing games, and get with the nigga you gonna settle with now and save yourself the time. My name is David Johnson, the asshole. Goddamn it, y'all got it.
Well, thank you for that.
Average men have no problem with getting with average women.
We appreciate you, David. We appreciate the contribution to the show.
So if men don't have a problem with getting with average women, why are average women complaining about not getting attention from these same men? I heard average women talk about how they don't get attention from these same men. So they also feel like they got to dress like hoes. They got to put themselves in position to even be noticed because most average men want better than what they present. Like a guy have a pot belly, hairline about 2 inches off his damn head. He shriveled up down there. He got 2 kids, his damn self, but then he talking about he don't want an average woman because he a high value man. He done started making some money and now he too good for the same bitches.
You're doing extremes. The average man, let me tell you right now. Exactly. The average man, I just said, if you're fuck a fish, and we all agree with y'all. Y'all used to say niggas will fuck anything. That's a fact.
Y'all will fuck anything.
Hold on. So if the average man who just pussy hounds, see, that's how you know niggas who ain't had no pussy. Niggas who still chasing pussy ain't had enough. So the average hound, he's gonna be cool with having a bitch around. See, it ain't the man who make 50,000 has a problem with being with a woman that makes 50,000. It's the woman that makes 30,000 that has a problem. She ain't even making it. She's making 15,000, but she got a problem with the dude who make 45,000.
Make 75. She don't even want to do that. Make 75.
Exactly. So listen, it's always y'all. It's y'all who are delusional, optimistic. It's y'all who don't really want to reciprocate. It's y'all who want more than you give. It's y'all. Check and mate again. I'm fucking you up right now.
Over here on welfare, living with their parents. Talking about they want a man that make 100K.
Wait, hold on, because I have to jump in there. David, it's always going to be us. Know why? Because we have the wombs. We have to produce children. So it's always going. It does not cap. So it's always going to be us picking and choosing what we want, and whether it's logical or not. But it's going to always be us because we carry the wombs.
What the hell is you? Wait a minute. Hold on, Naima. I love you. And that would look like I love you. That was one of the dumbest responses. What does your womb?
Why did you say that to Naima?
What is your womb?
No. That's not dumb, David.
Wait. What does your womb have to do with the fact that y'all are delusional, opportunistic, delusionally optimistic? Y'all don't know how to reciprocate. Y'all don't believe in equality. Y'all want more than y'all give. The womb has nothing to do with that goddamn shit. Check and mate again. I'm fucking you up, Naima.
But okay, so let me respond. a womb has everything to do with it, because if we're in a relationship, right? Right. So if we're in a relationship, we're having sex for the opportunity to create life, a baby, a legacy. Are we comfortable? Or do we have a home? All those things are important. So yes,
Are you really, Naomi, stop. I love you. Are you
there's
really
no stop, David? There's no stop.
Wait, are you trying
There's
that
no
first grade
stop.
game, Johnson? I'm insulted at this point. I'm insulted you would try that elementary shit against me. That's
That's
the best.
not elementary. Are you kidding me,
I'm
David?
gonna go on mute. I'm gonna go on mute. Y'all got. I'm gonna go on mute.
I'm gonna read these
Fellas,
super chats. Let me read the super chats first. Shout out to Smurgo.
Wow.
He said them SYSBM guys go overseas just to date and marry single mothers. They justify it saying that those women respect stepfathers more. Shout out to Pablo Frescobar for that. Thank you so much. And we got a few more if I can get to them. Child, I lost all this. There we go. Shout out to D. He says she's trying to invalidate the logic of men. She fails to realize that men are not women. We don't move with emotion. Y'all do. D, I don't really know what world you're in now. These new niggas are just as emotional as women. Check and mate. Thank you so much for that, D.
I can't even argue with that. I don't argue with the truth.
I know. See, check and mate. I got you. Shout out to Smurgo again. He says, I'm glad he admitted game is just lying and manipulation. Thank you so much for that, Smurgo. And shout out to your name here for the super sticker. Hey, lady, thank you so much for that. And got another one. Shout out to brother L. Nixon. What's up, bro? He says some men and women leave good relationships all the time. It's called regret. Sometimes looking over the fence looks good to people with bad vision. 80-20. L. Nixon, I think you are absolutely positively on point with that. Thank you so much for that.
Mostly women, though.
Facts.
Child, please.
It's not
Shout
even
out
close. It's
to
4 to 5. Go ahead.
Shout out to Jessica Raymond. Finesse
It's true.
suckers. She says you're weak, mates. That's why I finessed y'all.
See?
Thank you so much, Jessica Raymond.
See, Jessica likes the lies. She likes the game. She likes all the manipulation. That says a lot about a woman's psyche. This is why any man chasing behind a woman, I look at him strange. I'm like, do you know what you're chasing behind? She is totally insane. She is an indecisive, unstable creature. You can't trust nothing she say. That's why when I see men who listen to y'all, you know, Sister George, I love you and Naima. I tell y'all part of the sisterhood every goddamn time because it's a fact.
I don't know why you keep saying that.
Yeah, I want to ask my man David about what he said about game, though. My man said game is lying. And
some of it is. I say sometimes. Some of it is the truth. Some of it is knowing how. Some of it is experience, knowing how women think, and some of it is lies. And I said again, RG, it's this simple. If just coming out telling a woman something straight up was what women were on, we wouldn't even have game. If just coming out, hey, I want you, come with me now, let's go. If it was that easy, that's what every man, they said the shortest distance between two objects is a straight line. That's what every logical man would
why would we go for that, David?
Hold
on. Into it, because y'all like lies.
Hold up. Nah, couldn't be nothing any further from the truth.
I'm a proof
on the road earlier, but you know, lying ain't nothing but the opposite of game. So we could get into that. Look, go ahead, let you read the super chat.
David is not mode 1. Shout out to Smurgo.
Yes, I am. I just lie every now and then.
Not mode 1, like I said. With Smurgo's. Sure. Smurgo says women are better than us. She's supposed to stay strong and not cheat in the relationship. Men are tempted by the flesh. She must be better. Thank you for so much for that, Smurgo. Shout out to your name here. She says, BS Smurgo, I'm on what you own or I leave. You know, sometimes you gotta hurt their feelings, child. Shout out to Eugene Steele again. He says the man picks a woman. It does not mean she has to accept. Thank you so much for that. And that's it. Thank you.
Wait, let me say this to RG right fast. RG, right quick. Look up when you get a chance. Look up, go YouTube, Donna Missile, Keep Lying. When you get a chance, I'm gonna just give it to you right quick. Her lyrics are, Oh, keep lying to me. Just keep lying to me. Oh, don't go fucking up my fantasy. Just keep lying to me. That's true shit, bro.
Yeah, but that ain't game, OG, and I'm gonna go ahead and lace you. Because
Oh,
by all means, let me hear it.
anytime you out here lying to these hoes, you definitely ain't got no game. The isms ain't in you at all. So if you're lying to the hoe, she ain't gonna be on board with your real program, which is what you need to get her on. So all the lying, all you're doing is setting yourself up for failure. Because how you start is how you finish. If you're gonna come at a hoe, you need to come at all these hoes the same, man. You can't be out here lying, because once you get the lying and you get to telling them one thing or another, your name is gonna be mud out here in these streets, and the game is gonna reject you.
The problem is, and just before you step in, David, I'm gonna just say this.
Let me clean him up right quick. I get right to it. Don't take me long. Let me clean him up right fast. Let me clean you up real quick. Game. Listen, you said telling her what? See, every time y'all step on my goddamn Kisha, go ahead, SG. I gotta rethink what I was thinking. Go ahead.
Oh, because I was gonna say, if you lying to the bitch, you scared of her, or you scared of the consequences that she can present to you. So if you sitting over here lying to the bitch, then her thought process and how she feels and what she thinks is more important than what you doing. And if you gotta lie to a bitch, then you actually putting yourself in a lower position than the bitch. You think the bitch is more important than you.
You under the hoe.
Wait,
I'm just saying.
All right, wait.
Under the hoe.
I got my thought back. All right, RG, I'm gonna show you how what you're saying is cap. Now watch this. I've done this. I'm a player. I know what game is. I'm from LA, my G. Somebody got feedback.
Lying ain't player.
Wait, hold on.
Lying ain't player. I don't know what game you in.
Let me pan out. Somebody got feedback though. Somebody need to mute up. Okay. Let me explain something to you. I'm gonna show you how, if you saying it's just telling the truth, I agree. I do tell the truth. I mix in a little manipulation. I mix in a little fantasy. Sometimes that fantasy ain't playing, but I make it come to fruition. Sometimes I don't. But I'm gonna show you how what you saying is cap. I got plenty of homies. I'm from LA. I was one of them niggas. Like, all the players in the city know the players in the city. I'm quite sure if you from Philly, the players of your city know the players of your city. Y'all, I mean, when I say the players, the niggas who got money, the niggas who get bitches, you see them all the time, different bitches. They do, all the people in the neighborhoods talk about them. I'm gonna show you cap. So for all my player partners, every player partner I know that when I was growing up, I seen them had plenty bitches like me. Why aren't those women still with them? Those men had game. If game was eternal, see, it's the cap. So don't interrupt, because I'm cooking. If game was eternal, then all the same bitches you got from day one, nigga, would be with you now. Every nigga would have it. I can go to all my player partners, let's just say 20 of them. If I go to 20 of them niggas, every bitch they had ain't nowhere to be seen. So if game was really that heavy, and we all had game, then now we should all have the bitches. We should have every bitch we spit that game in her ear hole. Check and mate. You got it.
You ain't got the lie, Craig.
That ain't got shit to do with no isms. Now, all this shit you talking about with the lying, that show that you is under the bitch. Now, I don't know why you think otherwise, because that ain't ism.
Do you have?
I don't lie to no. Hold on, don't cut me off.
All right. Because you didn't address what I said, though. You didn't address what I said.
Yeah, because what you're saying is irrelevant to the actual narrative.
If game works and truth works, she should still be there. How she leave at the game?
I said don't lie to the hoe. A bitch could go. A bitch can go. If the bitch ain't with my program, she can go. But she gonna know what my program is. So you want to cut me off because you want to manipulate the bitch.
2 days in a row.
You want to manipulate the bitch. I don't want to manipulate the bitch.
If you ran over to Ramil twice to suck on his ass, I can't believe it, RG.
Wait a minute now.
Whoa. Yeah, the shit you saying is actually live on stage.
When I say
you
fucking
lying to bitches. You lying to bitches. Right?
Yeah, I tell bitches what they want to hear. Absolutely.
Right. That's not the isms. That's not the isms.
Nigga. So hold on. So listen to me.
That's not the isms.
Let me ask you this recognized game. So if you had a way, let me ask you this. If you could
That's not the isms. Why are you trying to explain your way out of that?
I'm not explaining. Let me ask you a question. If you had a way to get $2 million, you're a Philly cat, right?
We talking about hoes. We ain't talking about money. We talking about hoes.
Listen. If
you have a
way to obtain your objective.
Look, dog. Look, I don't lie to no hoes. The shit you saying is soggy.
I finish my
definitely don't have no isms because you ain't standing on nothing.
Let me finish my question.
If you lying to the hoes, then you under the bitch.
If you standing on something with a bitch, I know you don't know bitches, nigga. Bitches don't
under the bitch. You under the bitch. You lying to the bitch, trying to make yourself something you ain't. A bitch gonna choose me is gonna want every bit of all the truth.
You went back to Ramil's twice. I can't respect nothing you saying.
You ain't gotta respect nothing, nigga. I guarantee you,
Nigga,
anybody
man,
that was over there
listen,
respected.
listen.
And
A
if
man
you
ain't gonna
is
go
you
back
trying
to
to
no
take this somewhere else?
No,
Because
I'm
you ain't
just
got no
saying,
isms.
I'm saying
Because
you
we already
capping.
settled that. If
I'm
Ramil had
saying,
a problem, then I could
I'm
understand. But you
I'm
dick
saying,
eating right now.
listen, I'm saying you capping. You was
Yeah,
dick
all
eating.
you doing is dick
You
eating
was
because
dick eating.
Ramil didn't have no problem. So why are
Ramil.
you cheerleading, nigga?
It wasn't me, Ramil.
So
It
why are
was
you cheerleading? Let's stay on topic. All right, we in this
Ramil.
room right
It
now.
wasn't me, Ramil. I fucks with you. I was in the chat saying fuck the nigga the whole time. I remember that day. Now you make them
And
words.
nigga, and I don't even know you, and I don't give a fuck.
You
That
ain't
was
gotta know
between
me.
me and that man.
All right. Well, we have a super
Right.
chat from Eugene
No
Steele.
isms. You're
Shout
lying.
out to. Can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear me? Am I clear to you? Can you picture me now? Picture me. Okay. Shout out to Eugene Steele. He says, David, you're boosting the 304's egos up. You are basically doing what the sisterhood does.
How?
Thank you so much for that super chat. And what we're going to do, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. We do want to keep our streams to about 2 hours. Well, what I would like to do, David, what are your final thoughts on the topic? And we'll let you have your say.
All right, thank you, SG. Brothers, as y'all displayed here, now y'all see why D bitch is always doing the shit she do. You got simp enforcers that and even with Eugene, I don't know how I'm enforcing bitch. I'm saying the bitch ain't nothing. You got simp enforcers who defend the bitch. You got niggas who think they gaming, because y'all clearly heard me say if game really worked, the bitch, every bitch you ever spit that game in her ear, when that honey hit her ear, she should still be there, because that game is supposed to be ultimate power. So at some point in time, that conversation of that game, she obviously it didn't work, and she shook the motherfucking spot. And see the difference between me, I always tell y'all, any nigga tell you there's one way to get a woman, or this is how you know you're dealing with a liar. I should be the goddamn dating coach, because I tell y'all the truth. Because I tell y'all, majority of bitches are fucked up. Majority of bitches like lies. Majority of women are into fantasy. They are into delusion. The majority of women are not going to treat you fair. Y'all use Kanye, Will, Dr. Dre. We see these are men who went above and beyond, took these women to extraordinary lives, and that still wasn't enough. And it ain't just about the money, because Dre a West Coast nigga. Everybody know Dre ain't never loved them women. The nigga him and Snoop made, we don't love them hoes. So my whole point is, I tell y'all the truth. The truth ain't always going to be pretty. I said it, I killed the game when I said, if women like the truth, why would men use deception and manipulation in game? Because women do like that. That's the only reason game exists. So at the end of the day, though, y'all could tell the difference between the dick eater that was dick eating Ramil twice, or the boy y'all know who been here standing on the square the whole goddamn time. Salute. Thank you, ladies, for having me. Hey, RG, come to LA, man, so we can school you right. Deuces.
Any nigga lying to hoes ain't standing on shit. A bitch gonna choose me because I'm firm and sturdy over here. And she gonna understand everything the isms is talking about. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't never had to lie to no bitch. That nigga ain't got no isms. I can't believe he got up here talking all that blasé woo type shit, and then gonna say he be lying to hoes. Okay, nigga, well, is you a trillionaire? Is that what you telling these bitches? Come on, man. Any nigga that ever been anywhere 5 feet from the game know better than that type of shit. He done played his whole card, played his whole hand out. So yeah, man, David, whoever you is, yeah, you missed the shot just now, good brother.
All right. Shout out to Smurgo. He says, quiet, SG. I'm trying to listen to the washed up pimp beef. Thank you so much for that, Smurgo. MGTOW Universe.
But real quick, I ain't never been no pimp. So y'all cut that out. I ain't never been no pimp. Church on it.
Okay. MGTOW Universe, what are your final thoughts?
Well, it was a nice discussion. Thank y'all for having me. Again, my approach is when it comes to women, assume the worst, hope that you get proven wrong. And like I said before, as soon as the restrictions are up, I'm on the first thing smoking to Colombia, because honestly, from what other guys that I've seen and I've just talked to about Colombia, you don't really need game, and your dollar is multiplied by 4. And
Will you
women,
promise us one thing?
Okay.
Will you promise us that you won't get with a single mother when you get
I'm
to
not.
Colombia?
I don't. Well, okay, so if I don't do single mothers here, I'm not doing single mothers there. Absolutely not.
I also want you to make us another promise.
All right. Go
Just
ahead.
one more.
Go, go ahead.
Please don't wipe up a chick that sells ass for cash.
Well, if I okay, what? Okay, so oh no 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 because it's if she's hiding it, then I don't know. But if I know about it, then absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. We just
What kind of who are these dudes y'all are talking to that's doing this shit?
you got to make your way around the space there. Buddy.
Why would you go to Colombia just to do shit that you could do here? That makes no sense to me. 0 sense.
You'd be surprised. Oh,
Who's doing this? But anyways, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good evening.
thank you so much, MGTOW Universe. Well, guys, this was one for the books. It's a really good show. I enjoyed it. Y'all have any final thoughts?
Well, we had Noble Singer keep putting in the chat. He keeps asking to link David Johnson's channel. Listen, you'll get a link. We'll link someone's channel when you have to at least. We'll consider it if someone at least dropped the 100 ball in our super chat. Until then, don't ask us to link anyone's channel. This is just not what we're doing over here, right? But you're welcome to come. We enjoy you guys coming. We definitely appreciate you. But we're here for. If you support us, we'll support you. But when we talk about the game, right? Because David Johnson want to talk about the game, and oh well, if you had game, then you would still have all your chicks you used to have before. No, game is not a permanent thing. This is a temporary kind of thing. So let's stop with that, right? So, and which is life. Everything is not permanent. Everything is temporarily. You either grow up, right, or grow out of the delusion, or so forth and so on. So that one, I can't go down that road with you, David Johnson, on that one. But this definitely was a good show. And at the end of the day, $180 billion is spent on this tricking kind of thing. So it's a business. People are going, they're participating however way they want to participate, tricking off the $40. They're taking their passports and going to Brazil, right? Or going to the Philippines or going to the Thailand and spending their money. Either way, money is being spent. The numbers don't lie. So this was a good show. Again, I appreciate everybody. And we definitely will see you guys back here on Thursday, 6 o'clock. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Okay. RG, you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, of course. I just hate to see people misrepresent the game, these isms, because ain't nobody that ever knew nothing about these isms ever lied to no bitch. Never. So I don't know what track that brother came from, what blade he ever seen, if he ever even been on a date before. I know that didn't turn out well for him, because if you misrepresenting yourself, then she really ain't choose you. And she ain't gonna never get with your program because she don't even know what your program is. Play pimping. So yeah, and as far as the situation with Ramil, look, I ain't the type of nigga that's gonna allow a situation that was started by some female bleed over into something that I did. Now I'm thorough enough to go and holler at niggas and let them know what the situation is and let them make their mind up on level playing ground. Cause I'm not out here just beefing with random people. All right. So I know that's the type of shit a lot of y'all nut ass dudes is into out here. So if that was entertaining to you, that's cool. But real niggas recognize a real one. You know what I'm talking about? So at the end of the day, when the sun dropped, Ramil had every opportunity to say what he wanted to say, and I think he did. And we came to an understanding. So stop cheerleading. Take your high heel hoe boots off. Put your pom poms back in the locker. Because we don't need no cheerleaders over here. David?
All right. Shout out to L. Nixon. He says in the classic dialogue with Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin, he starts, I love you. I can't lie to you. And she said, of course you can lie to me, and you will. Thank you so much for that, L. Nixon. Shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Join us on Thursday. We will be back here live at 6. If you have not liked the video,
Wait,
like the
hold up.
video.
Hold
Huh?
up. I can't let Al Nixon get away with this. Hold on. So when he addressing in the classic sorry guys. When he's addressing in the classic dialogue with let's go back to the super chat. Can you pull that back up, Danny? I can't get to it. I don't know how to pull that back up. Okay, so L. Nixon says, the voice of reason. Shout out to L. Nixon. Thanks for coming. He says in the classic dialogue with Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin, he starts, I love you. I can't lie to you. She said, of course you can lie to me and you will. So the context of that was the fact that her guy will go out basically to the world to deal with white men and smile and kiki in their face and come home and he doesn't have that same energy to his wife, girlfriend and such, right? So she's saying, wait, so you go out to the world and you present that you're a good Negro in a sense. They don't know that you have issues, but you bring your issues to me at home. So I know that you have an issue, but they don't. So so why would you bring it to me as opposed to bringing it to the man who can actually fix these issues? So that's why she was addressing that, because he would grin in the faces of these of white men, and they thought, oh, you were happy with your job, you were happy with your pay, you were happy with how we're treating you, right? But you would come home and bring something different to your wife. And she said, but wait, I don't want that. I'm home. I'm holding it down. I'm taking care of your children. I'm doing all these different things. So why can't I get that side of you? I want that side of you. Please show me that softer side of you, that pleasant side of you that you're giving to these white folks who don't really like you, who don't really fuck with you. So I just want to throw that in there and address that. But go ahead.
All right. Well, we will see you guys back here on Thursday. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe the video. We're out.
Peace.